Welcome back to the MEC Fall Championships. We are still here. We just got done with a one-sided match in Cleveland State versus Simpson College. I was going to say Cornell College, but they're not playing just yet. We got another matchup coming up in just a couple of moments. It's going to be Clarke University and Miami University of Ohio, and we get to dip into the championship bracket. This is a lower bracket match, so one of these teams is going home.
Full stop. That's it. That's the bit. One of these teams, whoever loses here is going home. Whoever wins goes to face the loser of Ohio Northern University and Briarcliff University, which I believe is later today. And they will face that to try and figure out who is in the grand finals tomorrow. You can see it right on the board. So we are in that A12 position in the bottom right there. We wanted to talk about this game a little bit ahead of time. And we wanted to bring up some all MEC stuff. We talked about all these teams earlier today, but I think the important bit that we need to start with is the all Clarke team. You can see actually that in all MEC, every single Clarke player got onto a team. Zerona and Soup making the first team, Zerona, Soup, and Ain making the first team, Fade making the second team, and Kang making the third team. Though I believe I heard in my ear earlier that Fade is not with us today.
I believe he has a sub for Granola. So,
yeah, Granola is the sub for Fade, which is quite cool, I guess. But either way, Clarke was dominant this entire season in terms of the voting. Right, all MEC was voted by players, coaches, MEC staff, production staff, unified staff. Right, it was voted by a bunch of us who were watching all the games, and Clarke obviously did well enough to get a player on every single team and to get all of their players throughout. The question is what will they do against the Miami of Ohio team, who separately only got one player in all MEC, and it was on their third team. But on the other hand, Miami has kind of been on a little bit of a run recently. They did the upset win against Cleveland State in the first round of the bracket. Then they lost to Ohio Northern University, who we are convinced is a championship grand final team, right? And then won against Cornell College 2-0. So this team is nothing to scoff at. I believe it's just Phantom on that third team making an all MEC team. So because of that, it's this Miami team's a little hard to look at. In my perspective, right? We see this Miami team. We had talked about it before the cast, but Atraxi on the Miami team is one of the best duelists in the league. He probably would have been on fourth team all MEC for a duelist, and he may have even been higher if Miami hadn't had so many issues with making games this season. So the hope is that this match actually is a lot closer than the other one. I have a lot of faith in the way that Miami plays. I've been watching them for a couple of years, and the hope is that Miami of Ohio is able to kind of push through and see if they can take it to Clarke a little bit.
Oh, for sure. No doubt in my mind that this game is going to be close. Would not surprise me if this game goes all the way to map 3, because we have seen so many games that are just 2 maps and they're done. We don't get that many map 3s at the MEC, but this is one of those games that absolutely has that caliber of competition that it could very well go all the way into map 3. It could go to overtime in all 3 of the maps, honestly. Miami, Ohio, the only reason that they were seeded so low coming into the playoff bracket was because they forfeited so many of their games. Let's not forget that. They had one of the not as good records throughout the regular season, but they are 100% a top 4 caliber team. I would argue likely top 3 over Briarcliff.
Yeah, no, they're I truly think Miami of Ohio is an incredibly good team. The problem is that they're facing Clarke, who I think is an incredibly good team. We had talked about all season that the top 3 of ONU, Briarcliff, and Clarke had just this like big gap before we had hit the 4th place team, which as we went through the season, we all kind of thought was maybe Cleveland State, maybe Miami. Miami kind of pulled it up together in the so far in this playoff bracket. They've gotten their vibe a little bit, but does that mean that they will still be able to beat Clarke? I don't know. We see the rosters here. We already talked about Soup and Zerona. We talked about at the top of the show some of the best players that we have in the league, one of the best duos. Ain, who I personally voted for MVP. although apparently that was a controversial call. Ain and Kang over on the other roles, in Granola, the sub for today. Miami of Ohio Esports on the other side. Atraxi and Phantom are these players that we know about.
I do want to also take a bit of time and talk about how if there was maybe a fourth and fifth team, there might have been a little bit more MU presence, because I'm assuming if there was an MEC fourth team, Ataraxi absolutely was making it. It would not surprise me if Panarin made it as well. It is really disappointing that Phantom is the only Miami University player that is on an MEC team, because Miami of Ohio is one of the best teams in the MEC. All 5 of these players absolutely deserve a spot, and I think the only reason that they didn't get onto more is because they didn't play that much, so we didn't get to see as much. But what we did see from Miami, Ohio has been nothing short of sensational Valorant.
Yeah, no, it's been good across the entire season when they've played, right? This is going to continue to be our qualifier here, is that we just don't have the same sample size from Miami of Ohio that we do with Clarke University, who stomped through the regular season, who played really well at the first LAN, who I expect to play really well here at the second LAN. As we see that hopefully we'll be getting into games shortly, I believe. Just waiting on a couple players, I believe. Yeah, I'm excited for this game.
Shouldn't be too much longer. I am so excited, Mac.
Yeah.
I am beyond excited for this game. I mean, Clarke University, it's always a show whenever they come out to play. But Miami University of Ohio is here, and this is going to be a nail-biter of a match. Every single move that one of these players makes is going to be amplified by 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, because that's the caliber that we are playing at. Like, this might be collegiate, this might be a LAN, but all 10 of these players absolutely has a future in this game.
No, they're absolutely cracked. Again, I've been watching Miami for a couple of years. I went to a school that was in another conference that they play in ESC. I coached against them. I casted against them. They've been an incredible program for many, many years. I think Clarke's probably better in this matchup. If we were to do predictions ahead of time, right, I think that Clarke is just a better team. Without the all MEC accolades, right? You take all that out of it. Clarke has just been so certain of themselves this entire season. They know how they play, and they know how they want to play, and they play to that way.
Yeah, it's easy to get into this kind of, I guess, tradition of saying, oh, well, Clarke University has all 5 players in the all MEC teams. That's why they're going to win. That's not right. The reason that they're in the All-MEC is because they have shown themselves to be able to beat almost everyone. I believe they've only lost once, and that was against Ohio Northern in I believe it was a 2-0 fashion, but both of the maps were pretty close. It could have gone the other way, honestly. So, yeah, you can't just say that, oh, yeah, they're All-MEC, they're going to win. Like, no. They're, in my opinion, my prediction, my humble little prediction as the caster on the booth, or on the mic, I think that Clarke University is going to win, but it is by no means going to be easy. It would not surprise me if we go all the way to map 3. I'm not going to predict that we're going to see a map 3 because it feels like at some points the MEC is allergic to map 3s, which is unfortunate. We want to see those nail biters, but alas, sometimes we don't get it. I'm just saying it would not shock me if it goes the way of Miami University or the way of Clarke. I think it's probably going to go to Clarke, but either way, this is going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, no, I am really, really excited for this game. I do hope we see a map 3. I hope we see Sunset. And that's a lot to ask for. Sunset or Breeze, I think that's a lot to ask for. I haven't seen a Breeze or a Sunset. I've seen one Sunset game this split, or maybe 2. I've seen no Breeze games personally. I want to get Breeze. Oh, yes. We got Sunset. No Breeze, unfortunate. But we got Sunset on the Decider map. Oh, okay, so Bind is super fun. I really love the Bind by Clarke University. They've been playing it all season. They've been so good at it. Ain has been playing a Raze on Bind, and no, he's been playing Chamber on Bind. Sorry, he's been playing Chamber on Bind. I believe Zerona has been playing the Raze. They have been such an important duo on this map. It's been insane. And Lotus going to Lotus for the second one. That's a Miami, Ohio like home turf. They have been really good on that map when they've been playing it. And Sunset is just chaos. Which is my favorite thing.
We don't really have any analysis to say about Sunset because we haven't seen it before. I haven't seen it personally.
Yeah,
have you seen a game?
I saw one game of it. Crow and I casted one game. I remember nothing other than the fact that it was on Sunset. I have no clue who played in it. I have no other information. I just know it was on Sunset.
I remember that Sunset was played once. I have not seen it, but I know it has been played. It might have been by one of these two teams. I'm not even 100% sure. All I know is that I want to see it. I have never been picky. I have never begged for a map 3, but I am begging the Midwest Esports Conference God, please let us have Game 3.
I'm so ready for Game 3. But let's get through games 1 and 2 first. We'll hope to get to Game 3. Bind a really good map for Clarke. I said it before. Zerona and Ain are really good on this map, but Soup has been playing Astra on basically every map across the entire ecosystem of maps, and he's been excellent on it. And this is really just a map that Astra can really thrive on here. It'll be Kang on the Viper. It'll be Soup on the Astra, Ain on the Chamber, Zerona on the Raze. The question is, what's Granola going to play? He's subbing in for who did we say he was subbing for? Fade, I believe. Yeah. So generally, the second initiator role could be the Sentinel role today, especially if they end up having Ain on the Chamber. Ain has also definitely brought out this Sky on this map before too, which I absolutely have liked. Ain kind of flexes a lot around on what he plays, so we'll see how they decide to lock this in. But Zerona and Soup on the Raze and the Astra, that's exactly what I come to expect. On the other side of Traxi on the Raze, exactly what I expect. Phantom on the Omen, exactly what I expect. This is looking to be very expected.
Look at the double controller from Clarke University. They have a set plan, and that plan is make sure your opponents cannot see anything whatsoever. I also want to point out the Cypher pick. I like that pick, but only on Bind and Split.
So they played the Cypher pick recently. I think I remember. I think Fade played it last time they played on Bind. So they've been using the Cypher pick before. I think I've seen Ain play it as well. So they're kind of all over the place with this, but I really do. I think the Cypher pick's a good shot here. I think the only thing you could have done, quote unquote, better would have been to use that Chamber, but I think the Cypher gives you a little bit more defensive prowess as opposed to the Chamber. And I think that between Soup, Granola, Ain on a Sky, right? The Sky is a little bit more aggressive than other initiators, and it can be a little bit more self-sufficient. I think that with those you can still see it going.
And I think that's the right pick on Bind. It's a very aggressive initiator, in my opinion. It's kind of the Swiss Army Sky, I guess, because they can do pretty much everything. They have a concuss. They have a flash. They have an intel in the Seekers. I know it's an ult, but it is still intel as well as a heal. Like, Sky can literally do it all. And I just feel that Sky, specifically on Bind, is the right initiator pick.
Mm-hmm. All right, something's going on, I think, with the servers here. So they're on tech pause for a minute because everyone's on 200 ping.
Nice.
Which is a little confusing when we're sitting on LAN. Just a smidgen. So we'll get back into that as we get through there. We could talk about the Cypher pick a little more because I don't think it's a particularly normal thing on this map to run. Though Clarke runs it, I've seen a couple other teams been running the Cypher this season. Yeah, I think the Cypher's a little weird.
I would definitely say the Cypher is weird. I think you can only really get away with a Cypher pick on Split and Bind, like I touched on a little bit before this map got started. Well, we haven't even technically got started because of the tech pause, but you know what I mean. But before we loaded in, while the Agent Select was still in its prime. It's an odd pick, sure, but I'm sure that Granola can definitely make it work because Cypher has a lot of versatility on this map, which is one of the downsides to playing Cypher on pretty much every map. There's like maybe one spot that he can play or two maybe, but Bind, there is quite a bit that you can do, and the spots that he can play are absolutely fantastic. One that comes to mind is B site. When you place one of the trap wires along that box right next to the truck, maybe you can put another one on hookah or long. There's just so much that you can do. So even if you know exactly where that Cypher is going to go, you don't know where the trap wires are. Is it going to be on the box? Is it going to be on garden? Is it going to be on long? Is it going to be in hookah? Is it going to be all the way up in mid? You will simply not know until it's too late.
Yeah, and especially with the tripwires and the teleporters, I really like the use that you can use them to try and prevent people from getting into the TP early. They'll pull you back a little bit, right? You don't put it right on the TP entrance, but you put it kind of going towards the TP entrance. So over on the A site, you put it in A main to try and prevent that early rush onto the TP and kind of go around the world. I do really like that. You can also have the Cypher played in showers, which is, I think, my preferred area for the Cypher is you have them play on the A site and you have them play in showers, and you have the one tripwire in showers, one tripwire over A main, and you just kind of run with that, and it ends up working out to a degree. I think the big thing, though, is the Cypher cages used as one-ways. It's some of the few smokes in the game that can really be used as a one-way, because a lot of other smokes you have to you just chuck out as you go, right? Brimstone smokes, obviously you can't. Viper smokes you can, but you generally want to save it late, and Omen smokes are a little difficult to line up in the moment for a one-way sometimes. So because of that, you can set up these Cypher cages really early to be used as one-ways, and you can do that right over with showers and stuff, and it becomes really convenient over on the A site to be able to use it.
We haven't touched on the camera either. That is another big part of the Cypher kit. There's a spot on B site if you want to play it. That's typically where I see Cyphers play, but there is also a couple of spots on A that you can do. But there's a really good spot on B. It's like on that back wall. You know, the truck's right here. The 2 inches are right here, and then all the way on the back wall, if you place a camera up at the top, it's very hard to shoot because one of them has to look up, and then while they're shooting at it, you can just peek out and get a headshot on them and just instantly end their round. But it can see, I believe, a little bit of long as well as some of the hallway going into hookah. So it's just really a awkward camera. So even if they're able to shoot it out, you still get the information after it's too late.
Yeah, no, Cypher is just it's a pocket pick. So everything good we're saying about it, we just need to add the grain of salt that it's not a normal pick on this map. That all these like good things are fine, but stuff like Chamber can be a lot more impactful, especially with the teleporter. There's about 1 million different ways that you can set up the teleporters between the sites so you can have instant rotates. Actually, I guess with the old teleporter, you can't really with the new teleporter. But because with the old TP, you could. But still with the new TP, you can do your sniper progression, which I don't think I've talked about this season at all yet. But when you play with an op, you have what's called a progression where you take your shot from one place, you move back to the next place, you move back to the next place, you move back to the next place, slowly giving up space every time you move, but also making sure that you know where people are and kind of dissecting angles. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm sorry. We're in our production chat. We just got told why there was a delay, and why the ping was so high. And it's because someone was downloading Fortnite. Which is perfect. No notes. No notes at all. Not someone on stage, so just someone else in the venue, but no notes. Perfect.
Oh my goodness.
I love it.
Okay. So someone was downloading Fortnite.
I love
Killjoy.
I love
yes.
Killjoy. Killjoy on this map I think is absolutely busted, but people don't play it because everyone knows exactly what Killjoy is going to do now. Right, she's gonna sit on B. If she sits on B, she's gonna put her nanoswarm nades in the tube, so that way you pop them right when you're walking up to them, and you can't really shoot them unless you go and peek through the tube. She's gonna put her turret on the box behind the tube, a little poke out behind, do a little turret kind of deal, and you're gonna put your alert bot either deep in hookah or deep in long to try and make sure you know ahead of time. And you'll probably sit elbow, or you'll sit in the back hallway. Or if you sit on A, you're gonna put the turret on top of the truck. You're gonna put the nanoswarm nades on the side. Right? It's a very set up thing. It's very, you know exactly how Kudra is gonna play, and so because of that, I think the Cypher works in a benefit to this degree, that it lets you kind of figure out something a little different than I think what you were previously planning on doing.
Yeah, I like the KJ on this map as well, but I like KJ on every map. There's only a couple of maps that are not good for KJ, and they're rarely played at any level. I think I see them a little bit at the Tier 1 level, but you rarely ever see them played at the collegiate level.
I love Killjoy.
Same.
I'm a Killjoy one trick. I'm actually a Viper one trick, but it's basically playing Killjoy.
Starting to come in. It's a really nice take for Clarke University. They take one down, as well as they get themselves onto the site and get that spike planted. Panarin cannot land the shot. Drono will double up on the lead, turn it into a 4 versus 3, but Soup ends it up being in a 2 versus 4.
Yeah, this is a little dominant right here. This is okay. Okay.
Hold on.
Adomti doing his best work here. He's got 2 already with the headhunter. Doesn't get hit with that Cypher shot.
One enemy remaining.
No one else could do this.
Okay. Getting that defuse. It's Granola to save it out. The sub. You know, we didn't really touch on it, but Granola is the sub. Fade has been the solid 5th man throughout the entire season. So throwing Fade out and putting Granola in could be massive to Miami, Ohio. Could be monstrous for Clarke University. But Granola sets us up. First round, don't worry guys, you have nothing to worry about. It's like Fade never even left. Clarke University takes the first round.
I mean, it wasn't clean. I'll say that there. It was not a particularly clean round. On the other hand, who cares they won the round?
That is facts. Round 2. To the conversion, as you called it a couple of rounds ago. I believe it was before anything. Kang rushing up. The Stinger.
Well done.
No shot for Phantom to survive that one. It's honestly a miracle that they even got a shot off. And it's another situation, Clarke in a 5 versus 4 on this post plant.
Yeah. You see Atraxi coming through here try and stop something, but Spike's down. They're already down 1 player. It's a rough time already.
Shots coming out as well. Soup and Kang, as well as Drona getting involved. And it's, yet again, 1 versus 4 for a duo
got
team.
another kill.
They almost did it last time, but this time Clarke does not let it get as bad. No 1v1, it's a 3v1, and it is ended out. Clarke University go up 2-0 in pretty quick fashion.
Yeah, I mean, the second round was a lot better than the first round. To be fair, they had a lot better weapons than the first round. We'll see how it goes. I'm not willing to put any certainties on this until we've reached the 4th round. I think that's going to be my my bit here. I want to make sure that that both teams have kind of gotten their start. We see Atraxi running in. Zerona running in. Take down Adaptum.
It's another A-site attempt for Clarke University. This time, though, Miami, Ohio has quite a few guns, and better guns as well. This is going to be very difficult for Clarke.
Atraxi's going to be the one to try and stop this here. The Astra smokes are covering a lot here. Kang is going to be the first one to grab the kill onto Phantom, though. Domty going to try and see if he can grab anything through wall and hookah, but seems they're just planting very standard at the truck. Are they going to check for Atraxi? They will. Zerona gets the trade really quickly, though. Ain does go down to Domty. Grabs Granola quickly. He gets shot in the back from Kang.
One enemy remaining.
2 versus 1. We talked about the KJ a lot. No utility for him, but they do have near full health. Unfortunately, their position has been spotted.
Unfortunately, Killjoy's just really terrible at being the 1 in a 1v3 kind of thing. When you're trying to retake, your abilities are not very well made for help me survive. They're made for help me keep other people out. And so because of that, it's end of the round there for Matt. We'll see though here. This should have been the first gun round, I think, because they bought up last round a little bit. Different. We'll see how they get through on this one though. They need to get through this round and get a full buy-in on the next round.
You know, this is another map that starts off going 3 in a row the way of one team. We have yet to see a traditional pistol round go one way, anti-eco goes the one way, and then the bonus flips around. Like, hello?
Yeah.
This is odd.
Yeah, we already see a Doomty with the chamber ultimate out. Nice shot from Atraxi to start, but a really quick trade from Soup. And Matt's going to be the one sitting here hoping to get something. He's got 2 nice shots from the revolver from Matt. Soup will take him out. And it's still, even with Matt's heroics there, it's a 3v2. Cosmic Divide is out for Clarke University. They've gotten the plant down. There is still a weapon advantage here for Clarke University, even though they've got a player disadvantage. How many bullets left does the chamber have before he has to go back to his classic? Or the sheriff in the pocket? He's got 4, so he's got plenty of shots. The question is, what happens if he misses?
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
Granola's sitting there. He's ready. He's waiting. Soup's got 1. Granola's got 1. Soup's got 4 in the round, though, to make sure that Clarke University don't lose out their 5th.
And that's a reason why Clarke University has everyone on the All-MEC. They can turn very difficult rounds into bread and butter and eat it like it's nothing. That is Clarke's special. 4 rounds in a row. Miami, Ohio does get their buy-up. MEC, this was what you were wanting to see. But with how Clarke University has just made short work of everything that MU has thrown at them, what makes this different?
Well, they have guns. That's a start. That's a really good, important start here. And 2 is this is the first round Miami, Ohio can really start to play with their abilities on the way that they want to, right? So the Killjoy on defense is going to absolutely be where the Killjoy shines. They've been going A every round. We'll see what happens when they go B, which is where this Killjoy is set up. They do have this a little bit more aggressive of a Nanoswarm setup, but Panera just gets absolutely caught out by Hain.
Clarke University starting to push up a little bit further. Granola has a very solid lurk position, but I don't think Miami, Ohio is too interested in doing that just yet. Here we got the showstopper getting brought out. Don't believe it'll find a frag. A Doomty, however, has one. It's a headshot. Clarke University rotating over. A spray down before a Doomty does go down, but it's not before they grab 1 frag. Phantom gets headshot through the wall. Clarke University will secure this site out and pop the Viper's pit. This should be an easy plant. And sure, Miami, Ohio has a 1-man advantage, but they have to fight through that pit.
Yeah, so it's still 1-man advantage. Soup grabs 1, but Matt grabs the turn onto it. Wall goes up for Kang, but he's going to have to get back to this Viper's pit. So the pit's actually down. Let's let it go. Let it lapse. But he's got Atraxi, and he's got Matt, and he's got the round.
Another clutch scenario from Clarke University. This time it's Kang in a 1 versus 2, and they don't need the Viper's pit. Let it drop. I'll just play with the position. They had the position. They had the health. They had the bullets. They had the jump on their opponent as well as Miami, Ohio were both very low. And 5 rounds in, a timeout comes out. I like this pick, perfectly placed. The timeout gets called. Miami, Ohio has a bit of time to talk about what they need to do differently. And I think that is the retakes. The post plants of Clarke University are simply way too strong. They've had a couple of rounds where they've They forfeited up the site, but they had the one-man advantage. That should be a retake that you are converting into a round win, but every single time they fall just short.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. 30 seconds left in this timeout for Miami of Ohio. This is the same place that Simpson took it recently. Let's see how they're going through, because they need to make a change quickly. This isn't going to be a buy round. This is going to be a not buy round, an eco round. The opposite of a buy round.
They might try to force, though.
They may. I wouldn't expect them to. I think they just leave one.
It's really difficult. It's really difficult to call. They only have like around 2,500 before the buy, and they're just going to use up with the sheriff's. I understand the pick.
I think you stick on this and let it go.
Yeah.
They chose 2, by the way. That was the option. We'll see what Zerona can do here, though, with the Vandal.
Clarke University pushing up through A site. What a shot from Phantom. They get floored by Granola right afterwards, but you cannot deny that shot was nice. And now the A site starting to get under attack. They're pressured up. The Headhunter is unable to. And a 4v3 once again for Clarke University. Ataraxi stuck between a rock and a hard place, as well as a purple smoke. They do have quite a bit of HP, but Clarke University has so much positional advantage that this should be an easy round for them to finish out. Oh my goodness, Ataraxi, what a shot.
Yeah, look where Ain is. He's already pushed through all the way. Makes it a 3-on-2, and the last 2 players are coming in through A main. And Ain is watching for the Sky Flash coming through. Guiding Light does guide.
One enemy remaining.
Sees the side of someone's arm, and he takes down the duplicate.
6 in a row. And MEC, what is it with these games today? This is a 6-0 start for Clarke University. We didn't even get into the fact that Bind is another defensive sided map. I believe it's the 3rd or 4th most defender sided in the game. And Clarke University is carving it up like a Thanksgiving turkey. I mean, hey, that's coming up pretty soon. For the Americans, anyway.
They're cooking.
Happy belated Thanksgiving for the Canadians.
They're starting to cook here. Like, they really are. This is a really good start. Soup and Kang. I mean, like we talked about Soup before when we were talking about the all MEC teams. He was voted in the first team for a really, really good reason. He has been really good this season.
Well, for sure. Kang has been an absolute monster.
Alright, a little Jingle Peek there from Panarin. He's going to run away, try and get out of this. Zerona does take Matt down on the other side of the map.
There comes the Viper, not the Viper's Pit, sorry, the Astral Smokes, or the Stars, likely going to be smoked off. The execute starts out. Not really much that Miami, Ohio can do to hold this out. This has to be another retake.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about them playing for the retake, but Ataraxi's actually kind of in. And Soup is going to get killed by a Doomty really quickly. So they were playing for the retake there, and they still are. Which is what happens here with Kang. Kang does get the kill, but 1 kill for Ain, and Kang grabs the 2nd in the round to grab the round for Clarke University. It's 7-0. I'm a little scared this is turning into a little bit of a steamroll.
It really is. We did not expect this. We came out of the gate, and we were like, okay, this should be a hard-fought match, maybe even seeing a map 3. And Clarke University says, okay,
nah, I'm
sure.
good.
Sure, you can say that. Is it going to happen?
No.
Maybe. Maybe Miami, Ohio goes on a crazy comeback. But how it's looking right now, Miami, Ohio is getting flattened by Clarke University. And Clarke University is having a great time doing it. It's not like they're struggling for these rounds either.
Nice
Panarin.
flash.
Oh, my goodness. Panarin has a gutsy play in mind, and they get absolutely floored. Thankfully, Matt's there on the trade, but they are left all alone with just a sheriff.
The problem is it was legitimately a nice flash. Soup and Zerona just were better. Like they were... Sorry, Soup and Kang were just absolutely better.
That's that duo. That's that duo you've been talking about.
They were just better. Like, I don't... Who else gets flashed and still isn't able to get that kill other than Zerona, like, so good right there.
Planted the spike.
Granola does get the spike down. Cage goes down. They're playing full retake. They're playing full retake basically every round here. They have no way to keep hold of these sites. It feels like the site is free, and Kang is going to try and make sure Ataraxi can't get through on the side. He's successful in that venture. Let's see if anyone can capitalize on it.
Shadows traveling.
Phantom starting to smoke things off. This retake moving in quickly.
Oh,
the shots of the
no.
Phantom cannot miss, but there goes Phantom. I meant the Sheriff, sorry. 1v3. They've got the Vandal in hand, and unfortunately, there's nothing they can do about it. It's a headshot from Maine, and Clarke University will secure the first 8 rounds in a row. We are on pace for a 13-0.
I would not bet money on a 13-0.
Oh, I wouldn't either, but all I'm saying is by now, Miami, Ohio probably should have got at least 1 or 2. I would have expected at least 5.
Yeah, so
But
here's
I guess not.
So here's what's gonna happen this round. You see a Doomty doesn't have a buy and is not buying, and he won't. He's gonna go and try and farm an orb really quickly. Probably this one on long. He's gonna get the ultimate, and now they've got a gun in the round for him. So this is the best way that they're going to be able to buy into this round. This is the best shot they've had in a while. They've got full guns on everyone other than a Doomty. We'll see how it goes. So he's got to waste 1 shot on the dog. He's going to peek out again, and he dies instantly from Soup. Great job. He had too many targets there. Yeah. The internal human aim system just decided not to help out. The Cypher ultimate is going to help Zerona grab 1. Ain is able to help with the back lines there. Ataraxi able to take down Zerona. And just these 2 left on Miami of Ohio. Push from the same area, and Ain's got them both.
9-0. And Miami, Ohio, yet again, had a good idea. Absolutely acceptable for a Doomty to try to challenge that with the tour de force, but the shot just does not land. It threads that needle between both of the Clarke University players, and then the dominoes start falling down. The ultimates got popped. The execute was swift but not overbearing. As soon as they got that spike down, they pushed up further into CT to force Miami, Ohio to stay back. Even if they got the first 2 kills, they still had to run onto the site, which would have wasted 10 seconds. That was a 100% guaranteed done deal for Clarke University as soon as they got that spike planted.
Clarke University has been lights out this game. In a way I don't think either of us really expected. Like, I was very happy to say ahead of the game that I thought Clarke was going to win. Very happy to say that Clarke was really good. But I didn't expect Clarke to be this good and to do stuff like this. A Doomty grabs the double trade after Soup grabs the double kill, but it's such a... Everything feels, even if it's an even trade, it feels like a Clarke-sided trade.
It really does. It's an interesting phenomenon, I guess, considering that sure it's an even trade, but it's never an even trade. Somehow, some way, Clarke University always comes out on top because now it's a 2 versus 2 trade. But look at how much space Granola has taken up. Watch out for the swing, though. Matt 430 puts the stinger to work. It floats like a butterfly and it absolutely stings like a bee. Headshot for Kang. And A site is completely opened up, but Kang's going to run all the way through. Oh my goodness, they're going to run through. The Omen doesn't know. Clarke University has all the time. Kang is going to make sweet, sweet work of it. And when they get this spike down, they have that Viper's Pit online.
Yeah, I don't think you use it here. I actually think you can get away with not using it. I don't think it's a particularly difficult bit either to not use it. I think you have more HP, or you should. And I think you would have just heard him hookah.
The pings are on the map as well.
There's a ping down. So they know it's a hookah play, and the spike is planted perfectly for Kang. Smoke goes out on the spike and through the door. He does have to get down here, but he's gonna go right into the... Oh, he's got the pit. I don't think it matters. It's gone. It's gone. Well done from Kang on the post plant to make sure that the little toxic Viper bite thing gets onto the spike with time.
not just the post-plant, but the pre-plant as well. They could have taken the easy route and planted on A, but they realized, hey, I have 25 seconds to go. I know that the Omen is behind me. They're expecting me to plant on A, so I'm going to run all the way through CT, defender spawn, and back around through B and play the long angle to ensure that Phantom has to run from A to B, waste off half the time of the spike, and by the time they get there, they have to get into that fight, and they have to force the play. And there was simply nothing that they could have done from there on out. The snakebite was the nail in the coffin for round 10.
So hear me out.
And it was absolutely beautiful.
What if we just said it was a good round from Kang? Just a whole round.
Well, yeah, but that takes me out of a job trying to analyze this.
Well, no, all the previous points still work. But it's the whole round. The whole round was good. All right, let's see what Phantom can do here, trying to make sure that he gets through some space into U-Haul. But Zerona's going to clear that out quickly with the paint shells. Vandal v Vandal. Zerona is able to grab onto Phantom, though, but Adumti grabs the Kang, and Ain and Soup are there to help push it forward. There are both ultimates available on Miami of Ohio, and they're both retaking from the defender side spawn.
They have both ults if they choose to use it.
Yeah, but they only have pistols. I think you save the ults.
I don't think this is something that they use it on. There's a Vandal there on the ground. Ataraxi, grab it. Grab it.
He's kind of pinned down there for a minute. So, yeah, ain't able to grab on Ataraxi. Zerona grabs on Panarin. Just like that. It's the last round and a half, and it's looking good and clean for Clarke University. They're going to have an issue with a bye here for Miami, actually. They're going to really have an issue. So this Phantom's just going to be on this Sheriff?
I want to point out that Bind is the second most defender-sided map in the entire game. And Clarke University is on the verge of 12-0ing on attack against Miami, Ohio. This is one of the best teams in the conference, and Clarke University is steamrolling the unsided half. This is their bad side, quote-unquote.
Yeah,
this is the weaker side on Bind.
Phantom Sheriff is going to need to look like day one release R8 Revolver if they want to win this round.
Here comes the push. Adumti has the first one. Ataraxi doubles up on it, gets a second and a third for the round.
But they left Soup and Ain. They left Soup and Ain, and Ain's already got one through the wall, and they've got the Seekers out now for Clarke University. It's a 3v2, but this is now it's a 2v2. I told you, if there's anyone you won the clutch, it's going to be Soup. This guy is so good on this Astra in the clutch.
They're 2 versus 2 as well. What can KJ and Sky do? You have that lockdown, and it is going to get popped out. If they can push up a little bit further, they might be able to shoot it down. Perfect play from Ain. It's a double kill! That is a perfect half for Clarke University. Match point on the weak side.
Match point.
They're so good. They're so good. Also, Granola has 3 kills, and it's exactly all the 3 kills they needed from him. I mean,
right?
like
that's how a Sentinel plays.
Granola is doing exactly what is needed from him. Soup, Ain, and Kang have been excellent. Excellent this match. That doesn't mean Zerona hasn't been bad. He's been making a lot of space, but Soup, Ain, and Kang, man.
Round 13 about to get underway. It is a pistol round to keep the dreams of Map 1 alive for Miami, Ohio, to deny the 13-0, which is something I did not have to expect, or I did not expect to have to say at any time throughout this series.
He TP'd forward. Okay, so he's got one. He's got the trade quickly, though. I do like the aggression there from Clarke, and they're going to give it up. It's perfect. So they're giving it up because they want to make sure that Miami of Ohio knows it's not a safe space for them to go to right now. There could be someone there, but Clarke doesn't need to keep the space. Phantom's able to take down Ain. That's a huge get for him.
Disadvantage for Clarke University.
Camera.
Okay, hold on. Can we get an admin? That's crazy.
What is this camera?
That is actually unreal. Where even is that?
I literally could not tell you.
Either way, The flash is starting to come out. Miami, Ohio executing. I don't think they know about the camera or the Cypher. Granola peeks out. They have one headshot, but they are immediately taken out afterwards. Kang is still on the back site. They might be able to deny this plant, and yes, they are. They get a kill as well.
Good.
It's one
He's
more,
so
and
good.
that is game. Triple kill for Kang. 13-0 Clarke.
Oh, have we had a 13-0 this season?
Yeah, I think we've had one. I think we've had one, and we get the second one on LAN with Miami University being the receiving team. That is absolutely unbelievable. Let me put my glasses on. I just threw them off in excitement.
So okay, hold on. Well, let's talk about this for a second. We just set the record last game for the quickest series with 26-2. Okay, the record previously was set 26-3 by ONU against Simpson. Against Southwest Baptist. It was just beaten by Cleveland State against Simpson. Are we looking to double up on that today and beat that again in Clarke versus Miami?
There's no way. This is Clarke versus Miami. This is the 2 seed versus the 5 seed. This is a team that has historically been ranked lower than what they deserve to be because they forfeited. This is a team that took Briarcliff all the way. This is a team that took, I believe, Clarke University earlier on in the season all the way. They defeated Cleveland State. They 100% deserve that 4th spot, if not that 3rd spot. And Clarke University is toying around with them, which is an unbelievable sight to see.
It didn't feel like any of the rounds were hard.
No, not at all.
Like it felt like they were able to get all the rounds they needed to get, and they just kind of made it work. But it felt like there were close rounds. Like, obviously, there were probably 5 or 6 50-50 rounds that came down to, like, Super Ain or Zerona making a clutch. And against any other team, you go, oh, okay, that's a 50-50 round. But when you're playing against Super Ain, it's not a 50-50 round.
It's so hard.
Whew. All right. We will be back after a break. We need to all figure out what just happened in that map. But before we go, we just wanted to remind you guys that there is no avoiding screens in the digital age, especially for esports athletes. Luckily, there is a solution by Blue Light. By Blue Light offers the best blue light blocking lenses with custom frames. Find out why By Blue Light is the preferred eye protection partner of the MEC and over 60 college programs across the country. You can find them online at www.byebluelight.com. We will see all of you after a quick break.
And welcome back to the MEC Fall Championships. If you're just tuning in, Clarke University and Miami University of Ohio are facing off. They just went to bind, and Clarke University won 13-0.
Yeah,
which is
them a little.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy to think about. But let's hope that we get a bit of a different result this time. We got Lotus coming up next. That's a bit of a change up. 2 maps into 3, a close range map into a nice long one.
I'm ready for Lotus. It's the same time we've seen Lotus today. The first time we saw Lotus, it was a 13-1. I'm hoping it's not a 13-1 this time. I think that's kind of where I'm at. My goal today is let's have a game that goes longer than 13-1 because that's our current longest game of the day.
Yeah, when you put it like that, that's very true because we had Clemson Cleveland versus Simpson. I tried to combine the two. It didn't work. Cleveland versus Simpson. It went 13-1, 13-1. I believe it was Ascent and then Lotus. Or maybe it was back. I think it was Ascent Lotus, or was it Lotus Ascent? Either way, both of those maps were played. They were both 13-1. And then we got to see Bind just last map, Clarke versus... I keep doing this. Miami, Ohio, which has been a ride. It was 13-0.
Yeah. I was a little unexpected, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, so we got Lotus. Let's talk about the composition just a little bit.
Ooh, there's a harbor.
We see a bit of traditionalism as well as some new picks. We got the double controller on both sides, but rather than the Viper Omen, which has been so common, we don't just get a Viper Astral, we get a Viper Harbor, which I am very excited to see.
Okay. I'm in for it. I'm in for Viper Harbor. I'm like super in for Viper Harbor. I love the breach on this map. I really like the whole comp from Miami here.
I like it as well. But the problem for me is I wonder how it's going to fare against Clarke University's pick. I 100% love the Breach pick. I feel as the meta has changed over the months and the years that Breach has kind of fallen out of the meta in quite a few maps, but I really like how he looks on Lotus. There's just so much that you can do with him, and there's so much space that you can take up with his fault lines and his aftershocks, as well as his flashpoints, which are good pretty much everywhere. Clarke University, they got the tried and true. They got the KJ. They have a Sky for the Initiator, as well as of course, the Raze Duelist and the double controller and the Viper Omen. Just the tried and true versus a little bit of non-conformity for Miami, Ohio.
Satchel out.
I like this start. They're all sitting on the mound trying to spam through this. Not going to be able to see anything yet, but we'll see how it goes through. Couple shots.
Miami, Ohio's stuck in a really rough spot. Clarke University is not giving them an inch.
They're just chilling, man. Like, I think this is a good adaptation to how it was before, but Matt's going to run through and he's been caught out. Zerona's got two. Phantom's got the trade onto him really quickly, though.
Watch out for Soup as well. Oh, they run out, and it's the headshot for Ataraxi. Very nice stuff for Clarke University. Zane starts to push out. This retake coming in. Ain catches him, jumps up on the platform. A really bad decision. It ends up costing them their life. But Granola can still clutch this out. We saw what happened last pistol round. It was a Granola clutch to end out the pistol in the first round of Bind.
Alarm bot out. Killed my bot.
A little bit of a diffuse going through. Going to try and bait it out. Ataraxi's going to have to trump around again to make sure this kill goes through. But no, Granola's got it. But does he have the diffuse?
It's close. Oh, so close. Miami, Ohio does just enough. And in map 2, they win their first round of the series. It's the pistol.
I mean, that's more rounds than they got last game.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way. I'm not convinced yet. It's one round. That's more rounds than they got last game.
They're starting on the attacking side of Lotus, which is the better side for them. Just because there's so much more space that they can work with rather than the defense. They're kind of forced into playing off of what Miami, Ohio wants to do, and specifically any of the attacking teams. So I like this start, and I like how they look, but we saw Bind, just like it. They started on defense. It should have been their side to win, and they got 13-0'd on it, or 12-0'd on it, and then lost the pistol after.
Whew. All right, let's see how they can do this. This is going to be an uphill battle regardless of what goes on here.
To figure out a way to get through this, though.
Yeah,
there might be a lot of guns in your favor, but Clarke is playing so...
They're walking away.
Possessive.
Oh, Zerona just ran away at the wrong time. Phantom's got a kill on him. With the upgraded weaponry of Miami, Ohio, it's looking to be a little bit more convenient here for them to plant on the A site, which they've taken. They've got both the Harbor Wall and the Viper Wall ready to go. A little bit different shapes there. One's a bit circular, one is less so. So 4v2 retake is definitely possible. Both sets of teams. Phantom's going to try and get one here, but he's got only half of a kill. Doomty's got two, though. Granola, hero of last round, or tried to be. Goes down quickly. And that's Miami, Ohio with the second.
Started off when we saw Miami, Ohio pushed up. Specifically, it was Phantom, who had a really nice position very far in A main. Then the defender over by A ran back, gave him the sound cue, and Phantom pushed out, got the headshot with the Phantom. That was the, or not the Phantom, the Spectre. Phantom got the headshot with the Spectre. Please don't name yourself after a gun in the game. please and thank you. Well, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Bonus round, Clarke University has 5 rifles. This should be their round, but we saw the last time this was not their round. It was Clarke University's. When they won the first 2, they got the bonus as well, so the same thing could happen.
Yeah, here's the other bit, is that this game could have been worse. It could have been Fade playing Fade while Phantom has the Phantom.
I mean, that you could just switch them out because nobody would know if you're talking about the player or the gun. But that, you know.
Guess so.
Oh my goodness. Just spraying through. You'd think after they don't move they'd stop spraying, but no, they just continue. And they immediately half the resources of the smokes of Clarke.
Let's see what Phantom can do. He's the solo one over here. He's the original on this site, and we'll see if they're going to take the site. They should have a free plant, basically.
High tide goes up, blocks off the site from the top, from heaven.
Out of charges.
Spike is going to get planted down with very little resistance. Drona sees ahead, they can't land the shot, and now they have to fall back and regroup. Clarke University having a very tough time finding anything to grab at.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my goodness. What a take. Double from Ain. Granola has the finish, and Clarke University wins out the bonus round. They only drop 1. Despite the awkward start, Clarke University makes really efficient work of that round. And for the first time, we will not have a 13-0 this series.
I mean, you know what? We're improving.
That we are. So what really went down for that round, Miami, Ohio kind of got a loose grip. They started getting a bit of pressure, and rather than playing into that pressure and holding those close angles, they tried to fight them off playing the exact same angles that Clarke University had. And the problem with that is they have better guns. They have 5 rifles. Miami, Ohio had to stick it out with the Spectres. I believe they had 1 Phantom, or Vandal, but it immediately got dropped out as soon as Clarke University started applying.
Let's go through. They're trying to clear some common areas out, but oh no, I don't see how this goes. Nice shot from Phantom onto Aim.
Very solid start. Clarke University, once again, they start down a player. This time, it's their initiator that is dropped off the map, and in comes the Reckoning onto B site to clear it out. Nobody is trying to contest it. This has to be the retake for Clarke.
Let's see what they can do here. Soup's going to be the first one to be tested, but Atarax, he grabs him. Runner with the trade really quickly. Fault line comes through. He's a little stuck in here. And Zerona does go down for Panarin.
Player standing.
This is looking to be a Miami round. Like, really, certainly a Miami round.
It's like the sense got changed for Granola there. Just could not put the crosshair on the player. It's like that sometimes. So despite the bonus round going their way, Clarke University cannot effectively take back the 4th, and they get pushed onto an eco round yet again. They have to force up with just sheriffs, and it looks like they decide to buy 4 of them.
I don't hate buying 4 sheriffs.
No, not at all.
It's not my favorite thing, but I don't hate it.
You should still be able to full buy up.
I mean, if they're not
all 3 of them with the sheriff, then they might be able to get a frag here, but they just keep giving them 1v1s, and Matt wins his, and Phantom wins his as well.
Yeah, Matt's kind of turned up in this game. He's fixed himself a little bit.
What in the world is that? Ataraxi spraying through the smoke.
I'm telling you, man.
Soup's
I'm
immediately
telling you.
taken down. 6-shooter. Ooh. Big iron.
Player standing.
Nothing. I mean, it's a Miami round. I think it was a Miami round from the beginning. I don't think there was a real question about whether it was a Miami round or not, but Question was, how much damage could Clarke University do? I think the answer here is none.
They have potential for a 1v5 clutch, but with just a sheriff and no shield to their name, I don't think it's going to happen. You have to also walk through that smoke.
We got to talk about this. Granola is a man of culture. You can see he has the sheriff buddy on the sheriff. As a man of culture right there.
Miami, Ohio knows exactly where Granola is. They know that it is too late. Granola runs up. They wanted to try it, but they knew they didn't have the time. They're going to hold back.
Sure
They're going to die to that spike, and they are going to get an ult orb as well as a bit of a bonus. So Miami, Ohio, so far playing fantastically. Very few mistakes have been made on their attack.
I mean, they're doing well. I have no complaints from them. Like, literally no complaints.
Not at all. So we go to another buy round. Clarke University with full shields, full rifles, 4 Vandals, and a Phantom. Miami, Ohio, they seem like a Vandal guy. Or a team of Vandal guys, rather. They have all 5 of the mighty guns, the one-tap demons. And, I mean, it's been working so far. But this round might be a little bit different because Clarke University has 2 ults at the ready, that being the Showstopper as well as the Seekers. So that could do a lot of damage. Miami, Ohio might not be ready for it. They do have that Viper's Pit, so if they can get onto a site and pop it, that would likely be a GR. But I'm sure that Clarke University is going to try to put up a little bit of a fight.
See what they can do here. I mean, Ataraxi has been the star of the show so far. He's been the one getting the first couple of kills. Trying to see if anyone's pushed up. Nice little look there through. Trying to see if Phantom's going to peek out here. Whoa. Phantom does. Gets taken down by Zerona. Zerona didn't lose that much health with that either. 87 and 25 left on him. See how they can deal with Kang. Kang was a beast last game. We'll see how much of a beast is back. If I was Kang, I wouldn't be pushing forward. Soup is going to be on the outside of this harbor wall. They're not doing anything behind it. They're not pushing it. It's just for a little bit of bait. I think they're going A. I think that's what the call is at the end of the day. And the Doomty's on low health.
30 seconds left.
Zerona could get 2 here really quickly. You can get a headshot on one and just 1 bullet onto a Doomty.
I think the call knows. Yeah, in comes the retake, or the rotate, likely into the retake, or maybe not even needed. Drona casually popping the Showstoppers, trying to shoot through the wall to get the frag, but it's not even going to be needed. There's 10 seconds to go. Miami, Ohio misses their chance, and Clarke University takes this round in a flawless fashion, but only getting 2 kills.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the exact... it's not your favorite thing, right? You let them have a lot of weapons. Okay.
Ooh. Okay. Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't love giving them 3 weapons. That's not great. On the other hand, you won the round, and round wins count for something.
For sure. And let's also not forget that Clarke University did not lose any of the guns. So sure, Miami, Ohio might have been able to keep 3 guns over. It's not the best case scenario, but when you can just build up your economy, things are going your way. If you can get 2 rounds in a row that are just like that, I would absolutely be happy if I'm Clarke University, because eventually they're not going to be able to buy up anymore. It doesn't matter how many guns they keep, unless they keep all 5 of them, which I don't think Miami, Ohio is going to let that happen.
I don't think so either. Let's see how this goes. Granola's going to start pushing back. He's going to let them have the site. I think this is the right call. Panarin's got the spike down, though. A couple shots from Kang coming through. They've some chip damage, but nothing major. Zerona, though, with 2 on this flank. Oh, Ain tries to get through the door. That's unfortunate.
Takes a couple seconds, but they get it right back.
Rolling Thunder comes through, and it's quickly traded out. Aaron grabs Zerona, but Ain goes down. Adamti and Phantom, though, are able to get their own frags. Soup's got 1. He's got 2. And he's got the round. This is a lot closer game than the last one.
A really impressive showing from Clarke University, considering how C is one of the hardest sites to retake in the game. That is incredibly impressive. I believe Cap and I were talking about it a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of broadcasts ago. It might not have been that long. But with how Lotus is coming in, the reason why C is such a popular site is because once you get onto it, there is almost no retaking it. And Clarke University just shut that up immediately. They said, hardest site to retake in the game? Not at all. We're going to leave 2 people alive.
Yeah, I want to talk about you and I during the break. We had a conversation about like how do you come back from a 13-0? How do you come back from the mental issue of like, wow, you just got 13-0. What are you doing now? I think Miami kind of figured it out. They got the mental edge somewhere along the line that said, hey, we don't care about the last game. We've been in this situation before. We're going to play our game. We're going to our map. We're going to Lotus. This is where we want to be. This is how we're going to play. And they seem to be doing that.
Miami, Ohio taking this round a little bit slower rather than pushing up. They're defaulting, which I do like to see. Zrona has a really aggressive angle on top of the box. And this could be an easy way for them to get 2 kills, maybe even more if Clarke University has it or Miami does not clear it out. Zrona has 1. Phantom stops it before the hemorrhaging gets too bad, however.
Yeah, I was getting some deja vu right there. The secrets on top of the box on Haven Longs, on Haven C. He did the same kind of play a couple weeks ago, got 3 kills from it. They've bunkered up in the site basically, but it looks like Miami's trying to go around. The position here of Ain. Of
30
Granola.
seconds left.
Just stay. Don't go. You hear them all. The rotate's going to come through now. If you can get 2, you're aces. Great job from Granola grabbing 2, and he still may have more on the bit. 15 seconds left, and they still have to take the site. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. Soup is right here.
Left.
Spike takes 4.5 seconds to plant.
1 enemy remaining.
He's going down right now, but the kills come through by Aang before anything else happens. Granola right there absolutely saved the round with those 2 kills to force them just to take a couple seconds to worry about him.
Clarke University's got their mojo back. That's 3 rounds in a row. 1 or 2 more rounds, depending if they're able to save some guns. This should be an eco for Miami, Ohio. Clarke University is getting their momentum rolling in a massive, massive way. The ultimates are looking a little bit shaky. You do have the lockdown, which for Lotus is a really strong object that you can use. Miami, Ohio has 2 at the ready, however. The Showstopper and the Viper's Pit with another one almost on the way. It's only 1 orb off.
Nice kill from Zrona.
What a play.
He's been, regardless of how this team has done this game, Zrona's been really good.
It's hard to combat against a player like that. So we go to a 4 versus 5. Miami, Ohio, stuck between a rock and a hard place. You still have that Omen over at A, which has been a problem and will likely be a problem if you try to push onto it. Ataraxi
Nice.
brings out the Showstopper. They grab 1 frag. That gets rid of half the smokes of Clarke University, and that calls in the rotate as well, as in comes the Raze, in comes the KJ. But the push starts to come through. This could be make or break scenario for Miami, Ohio, and they know that. They pop the lockdown.
Yeah, they understand this is where they need to get around. Otherwise, they're going to be broke. So Granola is going to get detained. It shouldn't matter. They're not going to push out for this. Well, they shouldn't. It would be very kind of dumb if they do.
Ain's waiting. They know that the footsteps are outside. And now we have a counter lockdown. It's going to force them back. And this retake's starting to come in.
Nice
Granola
kill.
puts their team in the advantage. And that lockdown is going to be a problem. Perfect fob flash. There's no shot to land. They're still alive. The headshot is there. But the spike is too far gone. Clarke University take the lead. They've got 4 rounds in a row.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing is that there are too many people just sitting there ready to go. And they pushed out. That Killjoy ultimate pushed them all out to the same place. And Clarke University took the fight to them.
They absolutely did. They played that perfectly. They played with intent, but they did not completely rush in. They waited for that lockdown to go out. Despite losing a couple of seconds off of that spike, they knew just how much they had, and a perfect play from Ain as well really secured that round out. And Miami, Ohio, they don't have a broken buy just yet, but it's starting to crack around the edges. You see that Guardian.
There.
Oh my goodness, the
Strona.
showstopper! Insanely aggressive play, and Drona wants more! Soup grabs
got a friend
one,
now.
headshot.
Oh
Soup
my-
has another one. One man left, and that is the swiftest round I have seen in a long time. Clarke University leaving 4 left, and Miami, Ohio now officially in that broken bye territory.
Timeout. You want to figure out what you do in the last 2 rounds, because in Miami here, if they can get 2 more rounds, they'd be happy with it. But Clarke is actually in an insanely good place. These 3-site maps, Lotus and Haven, are both a little bit attacker sided. When you have 3 sites, there's 1 extra site you got to protect as opposed to a 2-site map. So when you've got these 3 sites, you're happy with 6, you're happy with 7, you're ecstatic with 8, right? On any map, you're ecstatic with 8, but on this map especially, you are so happy about it. Clarke University have done their job this half. The question is, can Miami of Ohio get it better? Can they fix it? Can they get to 6? Can they make their half worthwhile?
They are hemorrhaging a lot, and they need to get that bandage. They need to put a tourniquet on the arm. Whatever they can do to stop it, they need to do. That's what they're discussing this time out. This was such a hot start for them, and then it all fell apart at the seams, unraveling. Kang and Co. is just grabbing the thread, like, you know, the seam of your shirt when you ever got a thread pulling out. They're just slowly grabbing that, pulling it out further and further and further. It has gotten more and more successful with every round that's passed. Every round was more convincing than the last for Clarke University.
They've been so good. Like they were not great at the beginning of the half. Like, let's be very clear. They have managed to become very good. This is one of those marks that you say of like, I said this in the pre-show for this match, that Clarke University understands how they want to play. They know how they want to play. They play how they want to play, and they understand how everyone else on the team wants to play. They have some amount of like very deep connection with everyone, and because of that, it means that they can come back from stuff like this.
Look at how Clarke University's playing. They are just running around. They are running, gunning. They're playing Call of Duty. Like, actually, Panarin gets caught out with the boombot. Sprayed through is Drona. They might have another one on the Viper. No, they have the headshot. Phantom grabs it as well. The timeout looks like it might be working, and yes, it is. It's Phantom with a 3K, and Miami, Ohio save themselves from a 4-8 half, but 7-5 is still a possibility for Clarke.
Whew. I mean, let's. It's just a question of what is gonna happen. I don't have a good answer. I really don't. But
so it's round 12. This is where a lot of things can happen. This could be where Clarke University wins out, puts themselves in the lead despite all of the setbacks, despite the rough start. They can still take the lead. Or this could be where Miami, Ohio submits a little bit of momentum going into the second half, which would be massive. This is a huge round, a little bit bigger than we might give it credit for. It might just be round 12 of the map 2, but this has so much power behind it.
it's got a lot of juice. Let's see how it goes.
Try their hand at C, but I don't think they want to push on there. When I bring it back, they probably don't want to expend too many resources getting on there because they know that Clarke University is going to hold that down with everything they have. They know that it's a very difficult side to retake. They don't want to give that up by any means necessary.
Oh no! Oh, the paint shells were flubbed.
Spike down.
Oh my god!
He's got himself into a good place. Granola could do something here. Buck goes through. He'll spot one early. Dog goes through, gets shot. Yeah, he gets spotted through the wall there. That's just really unfortunate. Can Clarke do anything here? They're all in the same place.
That's done.
Oh my goodness.
Got one, maybe. Oh, I don't know what happened there with Soup. I don't know where he was looking. I'm confused.
Switching sides.
You know, the Cascade was perfect. Pretty much all of the harbor utility was absolutely perfect. The high tide was great. I believe they popped a cove as well somewhere on the site. Not 100% sure. But really, it was those water walls that completely shut out Clarke University's retake like the high tide. I mean, you saw how Drona dropped down. They thought they were safe, but they could see the arm through the water, and they shot it and killed it. Same thing with that cascade. It slowed them down. It forces that breach, or I believe it was not the breach, but the sky out into the middle of the open, and there was nothing that they could do from there. So we go to halftime, 6-6. It's tied up. Clarke University's transitioning onto their easier half. Let's take a look and see just what this next 12 rounds has for us.
Okay, so they spotted the 3 on the middle site. The B site. We'll see how it goes. Boombot from Zerona going to go in and going to see if it can spot anyone out there. They know there are people there, and Phantom's already seen one. He knows that there's actually a couple more than just the one, and they're giving up the site, which I think is the right call. You don't really have the power to keep this site. You don't have the utility to keep this site. I think this is the right call. It's 5v5 still, so you retake a spot.
The question is, how can you retake? This is such a difficult spot to be in for Miami, Ohio, just considering how difficult C-Site is to take away. Drona has a headshot through it. Soup has one as well. Map 430 with a double kill. Kang gets completely overrun, and it's a 2 versus 2. Granola swings out. They don't know that either of them are there. Panarin gets shot out. 1 versus 2, and Granola clutches it yet again. What is it with this guy in pistol rounds?
So I gotta ask the question here about what that wall was from Adomti. Like, I don't know why they put up the harbor wall and then went through the harbor wall. I think that just hurt them a little bit, actually.
Yeah, I think what the idea was to block off any site from Mound. But unfortunately, Adoopty put it up way too far up, and they had to walk through it, which kind of shot themselves in the foot. I'm not saying the round would have been a different outcome if they didn't do that, but it's the little things that you have to think about.
I don't think they win the round either way, for what it's worth. But I don't think they... I think it makes their life a little bit easier.
Clarke University getting delayed at the middle part. Fortunately for them, the B site is starting to get taken out. Adoopty unfortunately tries to jump through, and they get shot up just enough to where they get taken down by the damage. The Frenzy is not good enough. The Spectre's a little bit better. They've got a double kill, and Drona controlling every bit of this B site.
Couple shots. I mean, they're trying to see if they can find anyone. Zerona's going to be the one. Phantom's on such low HP. A stray bullet kills.
One enemy remaining.
There's the stray bullet, and Ain's got both.
Out of charges.
Bonus round.
You say something?
This was where Clarke University started their streak, or not necessarily started their streak, but got themselves ignited, got that spark, and they were able to win 5 in a row afterwards. This might be where Miami, Ohio can do it as well.
I mean, it's a big we'll see moment. I am leaving my reservations for a while.
There.
I'm holding them for a minute.
Clarke University wants their way on to C. They have made their decision. That is a full rush. And I think they want to push through that smoke. As soon as it goes down, I got a feeling they're going to hard rush in. No, they're not even going to wait for the smoke. They are immediately pushing through. And Drona takes over 100 damage to the
just so much damage to Phantom.
Grenade.
Just so much damage to Phantom, so it kind of works out. It's kind of okay. It's a 3v4. I don't know. They're running away, which I think is the right call for now. I think you may actually, in the end of the day, want to run back, but it doesn't look like Miami's even thinking that they may have run away yet. Now they're starting to realize it. Yeah, now they're starting to realize it. You see players run away. You see Matt and Ataraxi pulling off the C site. But they're not confirmed yet. I don't think there's no confirmation on where they're going. I think they know B. They've seen some shots B, but that doesn't mean it will be B. there's still enough time in this round.
30
You see-
seconds left.
The Miami defense spreading themselves out really quickly now because they're unsure.
You open that door to the audio queue. Does Clarke University save here?
No, they're going
No
for this.
way.
They're
No
going
way
for
they
this. No,
save.
no, no. Look, this is plant coming through right now. Now that they have a lot more space.
10 seconds left.
But look at all of this. They're using the aftershock to try and clear that out. Miami is. And we'll see what Soup can do here. He's going to be the first one. Panarin and a Domty grab the kills, though, and make sure that Miami, Ohio does not go any further in this round.
Bonus round given up.
Out of charges.
Miami, Ohio keeps 4 guns available. They might be able to pick up one that Clarke University dropped off as well. I believe they had one Phantom or Vandal. Not 100% sure who had it, or if it was a Phantom or a Vandal. And it was a pretty big gun. They could probably pick that up if they didn't get the full buy.
A
But
Phantom,
now things get
if you
awkward
will.
because we have 4 guns, and Phantom is the lone man without one. Oh wait, no, they got a buy. That's massive. So we get a complete gun round, and Miami, Ohio wins this out. This puts Clarke University in a crippling position.
Yeah, so paint shells came through early. Clarke University realized there is a raise on the other side, and they have to be a little bit careful. Double walls, though, from both Vipers. Try and make sure that there's no space. Pushing
Clarke University
through.
taking really, really slow hooks at the A site. They want to make their way through, but they're not 100% sure exactly where this Miami, Ohio defense is. They got the spot onto Ataraxi, and they know that A site is opened up. Girona playing a really aggressive angle. They catch the head. They don't get the shot off, but they know the whereabouts of at least one.
Yeah, so Granola chucks the Nanostorm nade right onto the spike. He's hoping to stay alive as long as he humanly can. Fault line goes through. Panarin goes through the door, but Kang is there to grab him. What more is left for them to do? A Domty goes down to Kang, and Kang gets another one through the smoke onto the duplicate. Well done there from Kang. Been a menace this whole series.
Unbelievable. I don't even think Kang knew that there was someone behind that smoke. I think that was a pot shot, and it just happened to land center mass. Thankfully, Phantom was pretty low, so it only took one shot. If they took more than one shot, I feel like it could have been just chalked up, and then Phantom might have clutched it out. But either way, the Will's way is exactly how it's meant to be, or whatever the saying goes. Clarke University on the verge of double digits. It's 5 Vandals versus 5 Pistols, 4 of them being the 6 shooters. And their Ataraxi tries their best, and they immediately get shot down. Panarin has to run away.
See if they can do anything here. It's 4 and 4, but just Miami did not have the same weapons that everyone else do. Its Seekers come out. They would have saw the top of Panarin's head there. Does Zorona go up? I think he should.
Aggressive
He does
play.
take out Matt. Yeah, Matt came down a little ramp in the back. Was taken down quickly. The problem is there's the one Vandal, right? That's on Panarin right now, but I'm unsure how much work it's going to be able to do with just 2 sheriffs behind it.
Lola catches out Harbor.
Yeah,
The
that's
high
their
died
smokes.
gets shut down. They know that the last 2 are in drop. Phantom tries their best. They've got a double kill, but there's still so much to go. It's a
Oh my
fantastic
goodness.
effort for Phantom, but Clarke University will not be denied their 10th round. Phantom showing off why they are all MEC, but Clarke University is showing off why they are all MEC.
That was a good call. That was well done. Gotta give props on that. Props for
Thanks.
Stu. There's a judge out for Zorona. This is not an economic related matter that there's a judge. He has enough money to buy a Vandal.
This is a
just
menace
want-
judge.
This is a... He's going to double satchel into B, into the back left side of the site, and try and kill this Killjoy.
Run.
I'm certain of these things.
Lockdown as well. That might help the Girona, but it might also hurt them. depending on if they are doubled up, because the judge can only do so much. And it's an awkward satchel, but they still jump on either way. The turret does a bit of damage, but not enough to really do anything but be a nuisance.
Yeah, he had to adjust to where that blast pack was going. He absolutely was going to try and go to that back left room, because the room that he's in right now is a lot easier to take with a rifle. But when you're sitting where you are now, the judge is the best weapon for the job. The showstopper's going to come out, is going to take the kill onto Panarin, and that's 4 quickly for Clarke University with just 1 traded from Miami, Ohio. Dome T. Sitting in this upstairs room, this little heavenish room, and the paint shell's going to come through, pushing him back even further. Kang's going to come through, be the first head taken from a Dome T. Can he take any more heads, take any more in this fight? He's got Granola watching for him. He's got Soup there too, and Zerona was on the flank. Round was done and dusted before it barely even started. 11-7, Clarke University.
Nearly match point, and it might as well just be it, considering the eco round for Miami, Ohio, and how the ecos have been borderline useless throughout this entire map. It might as well just be 12 already. Miami, Ohio needs a miracle. They still have life, but that life needs to get brought out from the deepest depths of their heart, and the only thing they have is the bottom barrel rifles and sheriffs.
I made a decision here. Eco rounds are frauds forced by everyone. Gang's got the first kill onto Matt 430 in this round though, and Zerona's already pretty deep into the site. They've got C. They gave up next to nothing.
I think Kang took a shot. That's literally it. Oh, Soup with a GG spray. I don't know. That's BM.
That's a little toxic. I'm here for it. Kang's put the Viper Pit out though. The Harbor Ultimate is going to try and stop anything but Atraxi. Goes down quickly. Kang's going forward. He's pushing up. Bandit takes down Kang. Ain with 2 though, and Granola clutching it out. He wasn't the best player in the last map, but this map, he has seemed to be the X factor that Clarke University needs.
Come on, squad.
Miami, Ohio drops another round. They did a lot more than what was expected, but now they have reached the end of their rope, the end of the line, the done and dusted of the messing around. This is their last chance to save their season, to keep themselves in the playoff bracket. They need to win 5 in a row.
Blinded. There.
To be honest, I'm unsure how they're going to be able to do that here. Zerona, it's going to be the first point of entry here for basically anything Miami, Ohio do. Anything Clarke University do. He's the guy. Araxi's sitting up in the smoke. Does he go up? Oh, I'm so in for it. Please, please, please push Zerona. This is actually just so smart from Zerona. They have no clue he's up here. I don't know if they check it. Oh, the timing, the timing. 1 kill. He doesn't get more than 1, but Granola's got another. Matt does get the trade quickly. Granola's got to run away. The defending Killjoy ultimate is actually screwing with us a little bit. Seekers are out, but one's going to go a little awry. They've spotted 1. Get some spray through. They spotted 2. Okay, both players are knowing where they are from Miami, Ohio. It's all left onto Granola. He was able to clutch it up before, but he can't clutch it up now. 12-8 for Miami.
Shukriya, thank you.
They're figuring themselves out a little bit. There's still a little bit of play left to go.
Disaster averted.
The retake is good to get them by. It is a controller sentinel that gets the clutch out. Clarke University still looking good. They have all the eco that they could ever want. They are looking... Actually, they're not looking as good as we might have expected, considering how many rounds they've won in a row. I don't think they're able to full buy.
They lose so many people every single round.
So maybe, just maybe, Miami, Ohio might have a ticket to overtime. But they need to get through the next 4 stops. And Zerona with a judge is going to be a big ask to go through. Big default for Clarke University coming out. We got 1 on mid. 2 and 2, 1, 2 is the spread. With Aiden pushing up, leading the charge. They have a guiding light in the hand as well if they choose to use it. Ataraxi gets swung on and shot through the wall. Down goes the Rays, and A site looking quite weak, but look at A. They're completely abandoning C.
Yeah, they're just on C. Clarke University has done a very good job in understanding how to put pressure on the map. They did that all of last game. They're doing it this game as well. It's just putting pressure in the right place at the right time. And Zerona is sitting here with the judge, trying to get 1 kill on someone. I love this. He's sitting in front of the wall. Don't boombot. Don't do it. Don't screw it up. He screwed it up. Phantom grabs the first kill onto Zerona. It's a 3v4 retake in favor of Miami, Ohio. Soup may have put himself into a bad place. He's bringing himself out a little bit. Just swing through. Won't be able to take Phantom out. Matt grabs 1. Ken can only grab 1. And the Doomty grabs the last one in the round. They're coming back. A little bit of a comeback. Just a smidgen. 12-9. Clarke University still in control, but Miami, Ohio pulling through a little bit.
As for this round, this is going to be an eco as well. Clarke University, they buy up very lightly. There's a sheriff or 2. Both of them with light shields. I don't know how much I like this pick. I would rather full eco here and then try to get the 13-10. Because Miami, Ohio is likely not going to be stopped. They're likely not going to lose this round under any means necessary. Especially not with the weak loadout that Clarke University has. Oh my, maybe not. That 430 casually getting 2 with his turret. Spike's going to get planted down on B site. This retake might just be the end of Miami, Ohio. But Drona still has that judge, and they get a kill. They're looking for another, but they reload at the 1 versus 3 for Granola, and the clutch cannot come through. Miami, Ohio grabs 10 rounds, double digits for both of these teams. And you know, I said it might not be the best of ideas to force up, but Clarke University strips guns off of Miami, Ohio, putting them in an awkward spot. If they're able to strip off more guns, they might just force an eco round going into round 24. Even if they lose, they will still have an advantage? Kind of. Maybe.
Possibly.
Possibly. So we have round 23 at the ready. Clarke University getting ready for their execute. They just need to win 1 more round, and they are on to the losers finals. And they want to try their hand at C yet again. That ult orb will bring up the showstopper. The site completely given over, and it has to be a 5v5 retake for Miami, Ohio. Drona pushing up with the showstopper, and they get the kill on the Rays counterpart. And they're so far up. Adoopty swings out, grabs the kill, and they have the advantage taken away from them. But there's still so much more work to do. Miami, Ohio evens us up. It's a duelist for a duelist. The Rolling Thunder gets brought out, but Soup playing a very aggressive angle up on top of the box. Turns it to a 2 versus 2. This retake is still really far out. The spike's over halfway gone. Phantom trying to defuse. Kang playing it perfectly, spraying through. They can't land the shot. It's going to be saved. Miami, Ohio forces us all the way to round 24.
This is so close. This is the problem here, is this match is just so close. I love the timeout here from Clarke University. You're not going to get to carry it over. There's nothing you can really do there. So making sure that you could force your timeout, I'm in for it, man.
That's the right call. Get your timeout out of the way. Like you said, you're not going to save it over. Get it out. You can still deny overtime. You can win this out in regulation. That was their chance to end this game and end the season of Miami, Ohio. But Miami, Ohio fought their way through the blood, the sweat, the tears, everything they left out on the battlefield, and they inched it out. 12-11. We might be going to overtime. We might not. Clarke University, they have the ult advantage. They should be able to get a competitive bye. So it's not like they're going to be trying to fight them off with water balloons. Miami, Ohio, they still have that bye. They still have that, I guess, momentum advantage, but they are sincerely lacking in the ult department. It's only the lockdown, but Clarke has both the Into the Shadows and the Seekers, as well as the lockdown, just one orb away.
It's so close. There's no good way to put it on either way. It's close. That's all this is. Just close.
Seems Clarke University wants to try their hand at one last default, but rather than that, they decide to forego the C pressure.
Found one. Hawk out. You should run.
They want to try B. They push on. They get the first
Nicely
frag.
done.
They know where another one is. The shots are not landing. Panarin barely gets that frag, but the
Dueling
site is
lockdowns.
completely cured up. The defender lockdown gets destroyed. The attacker one goes off. Nobody gets detained, but this site has been completely overtaken.
It's so close. It is so incredibly close here. Every single little bit is going in a different direction. Ataraxi's going to try and pull through to get the spike planter, but Ain is going to be there to cover his friend.
And Mechatronic, to think this series started with a 13-0. It is a 2v4 on the retake. Map 430 grabs their KJ counterpart, but this is such a good position for Clarke University. Map 430 taps the bomb. They've got to spray it down, and that they do. It's Kang with the final frag, and it is 13-11 to end the series out. Miami, Ohio is done.
They're out. They're gone. That's it. Miami, Ohio, we talked about that this was going to be an uphill battle either way. We said this was probably a Clarke University game. It was a little bit of an uphill battle on the second map. The first map was definitely Clarke University favored, but if you take the two maps together and you say it's a 26-12, that just sounds like a normal game. The scoreline was anything other than normal. It went from a 13-0 to a full 24-round map, right? Insane. Insane.
It really was. And, I mean, congratulations 100% in order to Clarke University. They make their way deeper into the lower bracket, the championship bracket. They force themselves into at least a top 3 scenario, which is absolutely fair. We did not see them getting anything less than that. Miami, Ohio, great season. Big GGs throughout the entire bracket, throughout the entire regular season as well. But that is the end of their line. It's got to be top 4. Congrats on a great season. Better luck next year.
Yeah, they played well. I mean, the thing you can hope is that we see some of these players that did really well today come back again next year and try and fight for the same stuff, because they did. The players who did really well did really, really well. So I hope that we see more from them later on. We're gonna get an interview with, I believe, someone from Clarke University. We put our bets in chat on which ones it is. We're hoping it's Soup, but we will see who it is after we have a quick little break. But before we go to break, I can find the thing that I need to read. I actually can't.
I got
my
it.
mouse isn't working.
I got it.
Tucker's got it.
So, that was a really, really long series. So a pair of these is going to help you out. Not a long series, but a long map. 13-11. That's quite a bit. That was like an hour or something like that. Not 100% sure. So you need a good pair of blue light glasses. There's no avoiding screens, especially in esports athletes, or especially for esports athletes, but there is a solution. It's Buy Blue Light. Buy Blue Light offers the best blue light locking lenses with fully custom frames. You can find out with Blue Light why Blue Light is the preferred eye protection partner of the MEC and over 60 college programs across the country. Check it out, www.buybluelight.com. That is BYE bluelight.com. Thank you for tuning in so far. We have more Valorant coming up, but first, we have an interview.
Hello, once again. We are here live at wonderful Westville, Indiana, the Purdue Northwest campus, for even more of that MEC action. Kendo Slice, joined by Soup.
Yes,
Then you
sir.
are looking super in map number 1, 13-0. Tell us how that one felt.
Felt pretty good, honestly. Everything, all the strats I was calling just worked. The aim was on, and we were rolling that map.
So you want to make sure that I understand your position. Are you IGL for that one?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so IGL for Clarke University. And also got to mention, congratulations. First team All MEC. How do you feel about that honor?
Makes me feel pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Feels nice to be recognized, especially all my teammates too. We got 3 out of the 5 players on the first team, and all of our starting 5 are in the All MEC.
That was one thing I did notice, that Clarke made a clean sweep all across. It seemed like nobody could do any wrong. And is there, maybe this is wrong of me, but maybe play favorites for a second. Is there a specific teammate you would shout out maybe more than the other ones? I might be playing devil's advocate. You can smack me in the face if I am.
Honestly, both Zerona and Ain are really good for me. I lean on them a lot to help out. And then the other 2,
shout out.
We just really we just all support them, let them go get their kills, and
there you go.
we win the games.
It's a team effort at Clarke University. That's what I've gathered from talking to y'all so far. And you go into the next matchup. It looks like it's going to be either Briarcliff or ONU. Is there a team you would rather face, and why?
Honestly, I'd rather face Briarcliff. I like playing them. It's really fun. We have a nice little rivalry going on, continued from last year. We played them at LAN, and it was a lot of fun. Their coach is nice. Their players are nice. It's fun to play them.
Hey, there you go.
Good rivalry.
Nothing better than a little bit of cohesion and fun against another team live on the stage. So hoping for Briarcliff. We'll find out who we get. But I have to ask one last thing, and it's more of a request. Anyone that you wanted to shout out? I mean, your first team, All MEC. There was a dominant performance that we saw live on the stage. Shout out to your opponents, though. 13-0 to 13-11. Quite the pushback. Anyone you want to shout out here with the moment?
Shout out to my mom, I guess.
Oh!
Yeah, my mom forced me in everything I do. It believed in me when I said I was going to go play video games in America. So shout out to my mom, I guess.
I love that. Thank you to all the parents who support their young folk in collegiate esports activities. It can't be understated. I wish I would have had that growing up. So shout out again to Mom. Folks, you don't want to go away. There is more Valorant action here in Westville, Indiana. Going to be live on the stage and in your home, live on Twitch. Don't go away.